Fabulous.
Recording is happening now.
Woohoo! Hello. Welcome everyone. Hello Douglas. Nice to see you. Hello. All right, we'll kickstart our second workshop in approximately about a couple more seconds. We'll just see if we have some more stragglers coming along. Make sure you do connect your audio. We are recording today, so if you don't feel comfortable having your video on, more than happy for you to turn it off, but please turn it on. It makes us feel a little bit more comfortable to chat to people instead of like we're chatting to a screen. So if you do feel comfortable to turn on that lovely video of yours, please do turn it on today. If you don't, that's completely fine as well. Put your hand up if you came to our first workshop on motivation. Yeah, we've got a few hands there. Anyone down there? Perfect. Hopefully you have learned some fantastic skills from there and taken away a couple of those key things. We also did send out the slideshow and the recording. So if you didn't get a chance but you were registered, that was sent out yesterday. So have a look at that one. It will give you some little key points on how to stay motivated in this period. Alrighty, we might kickstart in today's session. So today's workshop is a follow-on from our first workshop. Whoops. First time, that's all right, Douglas, no problem. So today's workshop is a follow-on from our first workshop on motivation. Today is, I guess, co-built by myself and Josh Farr from Campus Consultancy. If you don't know Josh, do give him a follow on LinkedIn. He has some great content on there. Every day he is doing a coffee chat, and it is quite amazing what content he does bring out. So if you do feel a little bit less motivated during that period, jump onto LinkedIn and have a look at that one. So what are you in here for today? So a quick little brief outline of our lovely 30-minute bite-sized workshop today, all about self-care as a student. Also, you can kind of push that to your family, your friends as well. So hopefully you can take away some key points. So we'll be about 5 minutes into an introduction and quote. 6 happiness habits. I know you're all excited about those. I also am very excited to explain those. Self-identity. We'll do a few activities today. So if you are used to the breakout room, that's where you will go into an area and chat with some people, and then you will come back in. We'll have a Google Sheet so you can write out your cool ideas out there. The more ideas we do put out there, we will be helping each other learn. So if you have any things you think is great for you, this is how we're going to get the most out of this 30 minutes. We will be finishing with a bit of a group share and a checkout, and of course a little bit of a survey. So what will you leave this fantastic workshop with today? So 1, you'll identify the items that cause you concern. So they will be completely different for all of you. So although we might tell you this might be some concerns, completely different, it's up to you. 2, describe the 6 happiness habits. I'm really excited to explain these ones to you guys today. 3, apply the steps to reduce the concern. And 4, increase self-awareness and self-care. Alrighty. So in this context of change and uncertainty, Australians are feeling anxious, 45%, frustrated, 37%, and vulnerable, 29%. There is still a sense of optimism. However, with more than a quarter, 27%, feeling hopeful. Put your hand off if you feel like you're feeling a bit more anxious, frustrated, or vulnerable during this period of COVID in particular. Have we got any hands in there? Yeah, we've got a hand. Jolene, perfect. Don't you worry, I am totally in the same boat as you as well. This is a strange time for all of us. No one has been through an experience like this before. That is why we've decided to build this workshop for you. Really combat the self-care during this period. All right. So how can I take better care of myself? So Joshua, so sorry, Josh, should just call you Josh. So Josh and myself created a fantastic 6 steps of happiness. So 6 happiness steps. So first of all, the first step, as you see on the right-hand side there, is learn something new. So these 6 steps you can kind of take away from this workshop and think, if there's nothing else that you can remember when you're a bit anxious or a bit stressed or a little bit overwhelmed, remember these 6 steps. Just remember these tiny 6 steps and just try and do at least 1 or 2 of them. And that will kind of push you through that period of time. So we're going to start at number 1, which is learning something new. Research shows that learning new skills can also improve your mental well-being. Did you know learning new skills can boost self-confidence and raise self-esteem? How amazing is that? Helping you build a sense of purpose. So who's excited when they learn a new skill and then after that they're like, wow, I have learned that myself, you know, and I can take that away and teach someone else that great skill. And also you help connect with others. Basically, what I want you to think when you are learning a new skill is, how can I become 1% better every day? That's only one tiny little thing, 1% better. You don't need to be the best. You don't need to be increasingly best. I just want you to be 1% better. These new skills could include photography, cooking, creating sourdough, learning a new language, reading a new book. Number 2 on our happiness habits, create a routine. All right, I love routines. I really loving my routines at the moment. At the start of COVID, I had no idea what to do without the gym, without seeing my friends. But I think that's one great thing that I have implemented, which I can kind of share that with you as well. So creating a routine. It sounds counterintuitive, but developing routine can help us feel more in control of everything and help us to make room for that, what's important. Routine can aid in our self-care. It can help us cope with change, to form healthy habits and reduce our stress levels. So a simple routine could be your whole day's routine. So when you wake up to when you're going to exercise. So you can structure the whole day. You can put in calendar events to what you're doing throughout the whole day, or even a small little routine like your sleeping routine, just to improve your sleep. So we do need X amount of hours. I'm going to set myself a small routine to get to sleep, whether it's drink some tea, have a hot shower, read a book, rub some lavender on those temples of yours, whatever that may be. And like I said, everyone is individual. We all have our own routines that work best for us. Number 3, stay connected. So connect with people. So staying connected, especially during this social distancing and isolation, is a really important factor. So we must adapt to the new ways. So currently, I know there are some laws that are kind of, I guess, opening up at the moment, but what is one important thing is stay connected, whether that be on video calls, whether that be connecting through video games, calling your friends, texting them. And don't forget, although I'm telling you, stay connected, stay connected, stay connected, it's also great to kind of have some time away and have a rest. So if you kind of need that hour without your mobile phone, definitely do that as well. Number 4, move your body. This also ties in so well with your routine and stuff like that as well. It is proven that moving your body, even for a small exercise, doing a couple of star jumps, whether that may be going for a walk with your dog, with just around your neighborhood, going for a hike, just moving your body increases your mental well-being and your happiness as well. Number 5, get enough sleep. I know you all might be watching Tiger King up until 3 a.m. or, you know, you're there scrolling. Oh, God, I need to know what's the latest or something. And then you look at your phone and it's 3 a.m. But you know what you do need? You need sleep. They recommend around 7 to 9 hours a day. Is around about a a really good time for you to re-energize, reset your mood. If you don't get enough sleep, you might feel a bit more irritable the next day. You're not going to be concentrated. Study is going to be hard. So make sure you do get your 7 to about 9 hours every day. And lucky last, number 6, everything in moderation. So I want you all to ensure that not only you are doing all these things, doing like your routine, doing all these things, make sure that you are eating healthy. Make sure that you are drinking your 2 liters of water a day. But it's a-okay to treat yourself every now and again. How bad would life be if we're like, I have to have routine every day for the rest of my life for 365 days? You won't want to do your routine anymore. So even on that 7th day, make sure you do take some time. If you like watching a little bit of Netflix, treat yourself with 1 hour of Netflix as well. So those are the 6 happiness habits. Did everyone take all those 6 happiness habits in? I hope you did, because we now have a little activity. So what I want you to do is grab your notepad, grab your pencil. If you've got your laptop open there, make a little document. And I want you to write those 6 happiness habits down. So I want you to write 1, learn something new, 2, create a routine, 3, connect with people, 4, move your body, 5, get enough sleep, and 6, everything in moderation. Now what we're going to do, once you've written all those down, I'll give you some time to do that and I'll explain what we're going to do. This here is the traffic light rating. Who has seen a traffic light also in their driving? I'm sure everyone has. Probably not many of us at the moment since we're staying at home, but we can remember what they look like. Whoop. So we have a red light, we have an orange light, and a green light. So that red light, you're a little bit concerned about it. So one of those 6 happiness habits, so you're going through every single one. So I want you to go 1, learn something new. How does that make me feel? Red light, very concerned. I'm not hitting this. I haven't done a new skill lately. Orange, a little bit concerned. Yeah, I have learned something, but I kind of haven't done it for a while. You know, I did start learning French, but that was 4 weeks ago now. Or green, I have started learning French. I'm doing it every day. I'm doing really well. So what I want you to do is, under those 6 happiness habits, I want you to give yourself a red, an orange, or a green rating. And I want you to think, all rightio, is it a red, is it an orange, or a green? And remember, that's up to you. That's how you feel. It's not how everyone else is telling you how to feel. How do you feel with those 6 happiness habits? All right, I'm going to give you 1 minute now to do that lovely activity. I know that myself, I could probably do a few, probably get enough sleep. I reckon I'm probably orange or red on that. I'm probably just like you all. The Netflix gets me some nights. My partner probably tells me to turn it off. But you know, you have to keep watching it till the end, those series. Alrighty, we'll give you 30 more seconds. Remember, we have the 6 happiness habits. So learn something new. 2, create a routine. 3, connect with people. 4, move your body. 5, get enough sleep. And 6, everything in moderation. Perfect. How are we going with that, team? We've given ourselves a rating. All right. So what I'm going to do now, because this is a lovely co-hosted facilitator workshop by Josh and myself, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then Josh is going to jump on in and then just finish up the workshop with a few more activities on our 6 happiness habits. So I'm just going to stop sharing. There we go. Josh, you should be able to take over now.
Perfect. Thanks, Shana. Great work so far. Now, if you're tuning in and listening right now, if you're still with us, can I ask you, if you have any clothing on whatsoever, if you're in your pajamas, if you're in a suit and tie, it doesn't matter. Can you be like Douglas and Jerry and Shana? Can you please turn your cameras on? We'd love to see your faces. So if you are open to it, you don't have to, but if you're willing to, we'd love to see your cameras on. Natalia, lovely to see you there. A couple more faces. Oh, a great background there. Someone's in space. Someone's got a TV and a printer happening. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see your faces. Now, as much as I love seeing your faces and we love seeing your faces, the reason why I really appreciate you turning your cameras on is this next activity, we're going to open up some breakout rooms. So the first part of today, look at those 6 happiness habits. What are they? Which Shana explained perfectly. The second part of today is picking one of those that you think is something you're doing pretty well at. So if you've got a green or you've got an orange, but it's like a high orange and you've got some good habits there, but maybe you just need to do more of them. I want you to look at that list and put a circle around one of them. One thing you're like, I think I'm doing pretty well here. And remember, in self-care, we want to be kind to ourselves. So don't be like, I could be doing better at all of them. Fine, but what's one of them that you're doing pretty well at? So look down at your list, whether it's a Word document or on paper, put a circle around it or put a bit of highlighter through it. One area that you think, I'm doing pretty well here. Just give you 5 seconds or so to pick one. Very nice. Now for the next couple of minutes, One of the techniques in self-care is to find something that's working well for you or working well from others, share it, borrow from others, and see if it might work in your life. So I'm about to open up some breakout rooms. In those breakout rooms, I'd love to offer you the chance, if you're open to it, turning your camera on, turning your microphone on, saying hello to your peers. And for the next 3 or 4 minutes in your breakout rooms, sharing what's working well for you. So you might have a challenge, but this is an opportunity. Is there something that's working? Can you share it with others? And can you get some great ideas from other people too? So breakout rooms are opened up right now. If you don't have an invite, you'll have an invite in just a second. Please go into the breakout room, 3 or 4 minutes, pick one area, share it with your group. What's working well for you? If you're still hearing my voice right now, there should be a notification down the bottom under breakout rooms for you to join a breakout room. So Edsan, Timas, Imabel, Neil, Meles, Miyuko, if you're hearing my voice, just jumping down the bottom, clicking, moving your cursor around the screen, clicking on the breakout room tab. There should be a notification that says join breakout room. Just click on that and it'll take you through to a breakout room. Wonderful. So if you haven't joined a breakout room yet, if you can join a breakout room, that'd be awesome. They'd love to hear from you, and you can sit back and listen to them as well. Cool, cool, cool. So just closing those breakout rooms now. Everyone will slowly trickle back. So we've got about 60 seconds. People come back. So for the benefit of the recording, if you're thinking there, those 6 happiness habits, what are things that you do that help you take care of yourself? What are things you do that you feel like when you're at your best? What are some of the things you find yourself doing that are good for you when you feel like you might be struggling? 30 seconds or so when people are coming back. Now, as you do come back, if you're hearing my voice, if there was something that came up for you that you're like, yes, this is something that I do or someone else does that you'd be happy to share with the group, please click on the participants tab down below and click the green yes button. So if you or someone in your group could think of anything at all that you do that helps you feel like your best or that helps you take care of yourself, I'd love for you to go to the participants tab down below, click on the green yes button. Anything at all, 5 seconds until people come back. Annie, we're going to flip it over to you in just a moment. 2 seconds until we've got everyone back. Beautiful. Annie, can you hear me there, my friend?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
Oh, good.
Beautiful. Annie, what do you do, or what did you hear in your group in terms of self-care that works for you or your group members?
It was, I mean, I said about exercise, but two people in my group said that what works for them is connecting with people. So because of technology, they were chatting, playing with their friends, and they said that helps them.
Cool. So if it's move your body, so if say that's like I think it's the fourth happiness habit, connecting with people is the fourth happiness habit. What do they do? How do they connect with people? What's working for them?
They talk with their friends. Like, I don't know about social media, maybe WhatsApp, Facebook, I don't know. There's like a lot of tools that you can do that. But for me, what works best, like doing exercise, just walking for 40 minutes. That's very good for me.
Walking for 40 minutes?
Yes, like walking just around my
Perfect.
house.
Perfect. So little simple things like that idea of if I want to take care of myself, if I'm having a tough day, I'm going to call a friend. Like, who's that friend that you're going to call? Where's their name written down? Have them top of mind. Or if I'm having a tough day, if I need to take care of myself, you know what? A 40-minute walk, that's what I like to do. So we want to take these 6 happiness habits, and they're good as they are, and give them a bit of detail. So just a second, I'm posting in the group chat, there'll be a link. So if you're on your laptop, or you can open up another tab, if you're on a tablet, something like that, please click on that link. And the link it's going to bring you to is this Google Sheet. Now, as you're in the Google Sheet, I should be able to see as you all join. Looks like we've got a couple of people in already. If you click on the link in the chat that I just posted in the Zoom chat, it'll bring you through to this Google Sheet. And I should be able to see as you all join. And someone let me know if that link is working for them. So far, Anonymous Coyote and I are the only ones in the sheet.
I'm in the sheet as well, Josh.
Beautiful, thank you. So are we finding that sheet, or are we struggling to find the sheet? Sorry, I can't go in. I might have typed in the URL as a browser. So if you copy and paste it into the URL as www, the same place you type in facebook.com, if you take that link that I've just put in the chat, bit.ly/Vygo_self-care. So if you highlight that link that we've just written as if you were copy and pasting someone's email address, if you just highlight that link, copy it into the URL. Where's the link? So can't access the link. Okay, that's strange. It doesn't allow us to copy. That's very, very strange. We do this daily and we've never had this challenge before. So let's see if we can work around it. Where's the link in the sheet? Okay, so no, it doesn't. Okay, cool. So it's not, we've got 3 people in, but for some reason it's not working for half of the group. So I'm seeing some sad faces in the chat. So if you're in the Google Sheet, please quit the Google Sheet. We don't need the Google Sheet to take care of ourselves. The last thing we want is for you to come to a self-care workshop. You couldn't access the Google Sheet, and now self-care has got worse. So please don't let your self-care hinge on access to the Google Sheet. That is totally fine. Now, across those 6 things, what we wanted to do in that Google Sheet was have you all share your different self-care techniques. So instead of putting you on something else, let's do it right here. So I'd love for you to go into the chat, and in the chat bubble, I'd love for you to share one thing that works for you. So something that works for you to take care of yourself, I'd love for you to type it into the chat bubble and give some details, give some specifics. Is it going for a walk for 40 minutes? Or do you like doing a yoga class? Or do you do star jumps or push-ups at home? Or do you go for a run around the block? So anything that you do for your self-care that's helpful and works, I'd love for you to pop it in the chat right now. Share one thing and let's see what we all do. We already heard from Annie, so what does everybody else do? So don't worry about the Google Sheet, just type it in the chat in Zoom. Annie said she goes for a walk, especially in nature. Beautiful. Stacy says she has a Zoom workout session with the football mates. Very cool. Douglas, walking, workouts, riding a bike. Very nice. Rem Kumar says cooking new dishes. Okay, cool. So maybe this week, something you might add to your list is, am I going to cook a dish for the first time that I've never cooked before? Edward says play table tennis. I like it. Amelia, enjoying the sun on my balcony and listening to music. Amabel, playing video games. Small workout list that I'm sticking to. Cooking every day, going for a jog. Evelyn saying I bullet journal to keep myself organized. Learning cooking skills. So another minute or so, share something else in the chat. If you've already shared one thing, share one extra thing. If you haven't yet, we'd love to hear from you in the chat. And as you're hearing me read some of them out, I'd also like you to look over all of these different things in the chat and see what jumps out to you. Is there anything that someone else is sharing that you could think about using, you could think about doing in your own life? So if you haven't cooked something for the first time this week, could that be your challenge? Could you cook a new dinner or a new breakfast? If you haven't gone for a walk in nature this week, could that be something that you give a try to? Opendra said yoga and cooking, making connections on LinkedIn or LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't gone on LinkedIn, if you haven't reached out and made some new connections, could that be something that you do this week? Build some new professional connections. Jolene saying spending time with friends online once a week. So could you start a new event? Could you start a Facebook event or send out a Zoom link to a bunch of your friends and say, this week, we're going to all get together at this time and catch up? Emma Bell said, I've always wanted to try Vegemite. So if you get nothing else out of this workshop, self-care tip number 1, try some Vegemite, see if you like it. If nothing else, you've tried a new thing. Maybe you found something you genuinely enjoy. Amelia said coloring books, painting, drawing. So as we're coming towards the end, that's very short, 30 minutes, but we're meant to spark some ideas. I'd love for you to read through those list of comments and see if there's at least one thing that you can pull out of that list that says, I haven't done this so far, but I'm going to try it this week. So is there something in that list? Is it cooking? Is it LinkedIn? Is it doing origami from Annie? Is it going for a walk in nature? Sitting on your balcony in the sun, listening to music like Amelia mentioned? Is it coloring in? Is it learning a new language? Is it journaling? What's one thing you could try this week to try to improve your self-care and take better care of yourself? Jot it down. One thing you could do. You can either post in the chat the thing that you're going to do. You can write it down in front of you. What's one thing you're going to do? Pendra said, I'm going to start walking. Awesome. Annie said, I will create a routine. Very nice. Douglas said, create a routine as well. Very, very good. What's one thing that you could try and add to your self-care portfolio this week? So all this is adding, it's a new tool to your tool belt. What's one extra thing that you could add in? Jack says self-learning psychology, resume workouts. I'm not sure, what are resume workouts? Evelyn saying create a bedtime routine. Very, very cool. Douglas says connecting with some new people. Tabitha says the same. I'll try to connect with some new people. Very nice. So we want just one new thing. So the idea is you've invested half an hour of your time here today. If you leave this half an hour and you go, you know what? I'm going to set a routine, and then you stick to that routine. Or, you know what? That idea of going for a walk every day, I'm going to try that for the next month. I'm going to try that for the next week. Or, you know what? I'm going to cook a new meal once a week. Send a photo of it to my best friend. You'll get value out of today if you grab one of those things and then you do it. So my final task for you is once you've picked one of those things off your list, go to your calendar, whether it's Google Calendar or your bullet journal or wherever you write it down, and sometime tomorrow, schedule it in. So today's Tuesday, sometime tomorrow, Wednesday, or even Thursday or Friday. But before the week's over, schedule that activity in. And it's an idea, it's exciting and fun. When you read it in the list, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of possible. When it's scheduled, when it's in your calendar, it's done. So open up your calendar right now, grab one of those things, put a notification or an alarm on your phone at 3 p.m. today, go for a walk for half an hour. The best thing about building in self-care into your calendar is you don't feel guilty. You plan to do it. It's in the calendar. It's not a surprise. So if it's connect with more people, schedule in half an hour. Say connect with my friend, call my mum, speak to that person I want to speak to. Reach out to my mentor. Schedule it into the calendar. Schedule it in, schedule it in, schedule it in. When you are done scheduling it into the calendar, if you've come along today and you've said, you know what, self-care is important, I'm going to invest half an hour of my time in getting some new ideas, some new tips. Not only have we shared the 6 happiness habits, which are a general guide as well, but also some really practical, actionable things in the chat. Once you've scheduled something into your calendar, we'd love to hear from you. and hear what you thought of today. Was today helpful? Were these tips practical? Was this a good use of half an hour? Is this something, do these 6 happiness habits, do the tips you've heard today, do they help you? How can we make it better? How can we make it more engaging? So Melis and Taj are both saying yes in the comments. We really appreciate that. Emma Bell said yes as well, which is awesome to hear. Annie saying yes.
No.
So we'd love to hear from you. If you've got 2 minutes that you could quickly go through to that bit.ly link on the screen as well and let us know what you thought about today, how to make it better, all of those sorts of things. If you've got a minute or 2, we'd love to hear from you so we can keep improving it. Well, let's not make that highlighted yellow. That's the opposite of what we wanted to do. There we go. So if you wouldn't mind going through very quickly, just letting us know what you thought. Was it helpful?
If you do provide some feedback as well, we will utilize that for our last workshop. So all the feedback we can get, the best. So we have one more to come, which is in a week and a half, about 2 weeks time. So the more feedback we get, we can implement that in the next one. So do go ahead to that link that Josh has sent, and all that feedback will help us for the future. And one thing to remember as well, when you are doing that one thing for this week, whether it be a routine or call a friend, make sure it is quite specific. I know it might be like book in 30 minutes to talk to a friend. Make sure you pick out which friend you're going to call. If it's a routine, write your routine down. So if it's your bedtime routine, instead of saying, I'm going to do my bedtime routine, make a bedtime routine, you know, I'm going to have a hot shower, I'm going to have a chamomile tea, I'm going to rub some lavender on my temples. Make it really specific. Otherwise, I can tell you, I've been there before and I'm like, I'm going to start exercising, but I don't know what I'm going to do. So I need to make it specific. So if you are going to start something, make sure you remember, make it more specific. So if you're going to call someone, say, I'm going to call Tina tomorrow for 30 minutes. I'm going to start kickboxing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Make everything specific.
Cool.
All righty.
Bite-sized little workshops, only half an hour. We've got another one next Wednesday. Now within this scope, they will be running for half an hour. So if we could add it, if we could make it go for longer before next week, we would. We do appreciate that feedback, but it's good. If you like this stuff, if you want more of it, hopefully we can provide more of it. So we'd love to see you next week. We'll talk about really practical, engaging ways with others. Sorry, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time, sorry, Wednesday the 27th. We'll also send out all the slides and everything like that for today.
Yay. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. We really appreciate the more attendees we get, obviously, the more of these sessions that we can do. Merci. Oh, merci beaucoup.
You can tell you've been learning French as your self-care. You're really coming on in leaps and bounds there, Shauna. I love it.
Hey, someone said merci, so I had to respond.
I love it. No, they're listening to you. They're being very clever. It's great. Thanks, Miles.
All righty. See you later, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your week.